Must-read American Poets Rankings. Introduction. American Poetry Overview. Poetry has always been a reflection of culture, emotions, and the human experience. In the United States, poetry holds a special place, shaping and being shaped by the country's history. American poets have explored themes like freedom, nature, love, and equality. Their words inspire readers, offering insight into both personal and societal struggles. In this essay, we will look at some of the most influential American poets: Walt Whitman, Robert Frost, Emily Dickinson, and Langston Hughes. These poets are considered must-read for anyone who loves poetry. Let us explore who they were, what they wrote, and why their works still matter today. Walt Whitman, the poet of democracy. Walt Whitman, often called the father of free verse, is one of the most influential poets in American history. Born in 1819, Whitman believed poetry should be accessible to everyone. His most famous work, Leaves of Grass, celebrates the beauty of ordinary life and the American spirit. He used free verse, breaking away from traditional poetry forms. Whitman's themes often focus on individuality, democracy, and nature. In his poem Song of Myself, he writes, "I celebrate myself and sing myself," emphasizing self-love and acceptance. He believed every person had a unique voice and that poetry could unite people despite differences. During the Civil War, Whitman's poems honored soldiers and spoke about the cost of freedom, making his work deeply emotional and patriotic. Why does Walt Whitman matter today? His celebration of diversity and equality makes his poetry timeless. In a world where inclusion is more important than ever, Whitman's vision of unity continues to inspire readers. Robert Frost, the poet of nature. Robert Frost is one of America's best-loved poets, known for his simple yet profound poetry about rural life and nature. Born in 1874, Frost wrote about the everyday struggles of people living in the countryside. His work combines traditional poetic forms with modern themes, making it both classic and fresh. One of Frost's most famous poems is The Road Not Taken. It begins, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood," and ends with the famous line, "I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." This poem is often seen as a metaphor for life's choices and their consequences. Frost's ability to connect nature to human emotions makes his poetry relatable and meaningful. Frost's poetry also reflects the challenges of rural life, showing both its beauty and hardship. For example, in his poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, he writes about solitude and duty, capturing the quiet struggles many people face. Why does Robert Frost matter today? His themes of choice, nature, and resilience are universal. In a fast-paced world, Frost's poetry reminds us to slow down and appreciate life's simple moments. Emily Dickinson, the reclusive genius. Emily Dickinson is often called one of America's greatest poets, despite living most of her life in isolation. Born in 1830, she wrote nearly 1,800 poems, though only a few were published during her lifetime. Her work is known for its short lines, unusual punctuation, and deep exploration of emotions. Dickinson's poetry covers themes like death, love, and nature. One of her famous poems, Because I Could Not Stop for Death, personifies death as a kind companion. The poem explores mortality with grace and curiosity. In another well-known poem, Hope is the Thing with Feathers, she compares hope to a bird that never stops singing, even during difficult times. What makes Dickinson's work unique is her ability to express deep emotions with simple language. Her poems are often short but packed with meaning, making them easy to read but hard to forget. Why does Emily Dickinson matter today? Her introspective and emotional poetry speaks to anyone who has ever felt lonely, curious, or reflective. In a world filled with noise, Dickinson's quiet voice continues to resonate. Langston Hughes, the voice of equality. Langston Hughes is one of the most important figures of the Harlem Renaissance, a cultural movement in the 1920s that celebrated African American art, music, and literature. Born in 1902, Hughes used his poetry to highlight the struggles and dreams of Black Americans. Hughes' poetry often focuses on themes of equality, hope, and pride. In his poem, I Too, he writes about the strength and resilience of African Americans, declaring, I too sing America. This line challenges the exclusion of Black voices and celebrates their contribution to the country's culture. Another famous poem, Harlem, asks, what happens to a dream deferred? It explores the frustration of unfulfilled dreams, a theme that remains relevant today. Hughes' use of jazz and blues rhythms in his poetry gives it a unique musical quality. His ability to combine art and activism makes his work both powerful and memorable. Why does Langston Hughes matter today? His poetry continues to inspire movements for equality and justice. In a world still facing issues of discrimination, Hughes' voice remains a call for hope and change. Why these poets matter today? Walt Whitman, Robert Frost, Emily Dickinson, and Langston Hughes are more than just great poets. They are voices that define American literature. Their works explore timeless themes like love, nature, freedom, and equality. They remind us of the power of words to inspire, heal, and unite. In today's world, where challenges like social division and environmental concerns exist, these poets offer valuable lessons. Whitman teaches us to celebrate diversity. Frost reminds us to appreciate nature. Dickinson encourages introspection. And Hughes calls for equality and justice. Their poetry is not only beautiful but also meaningful, making them essential reading for anyone who wants to understand the human experience. In conclusion, American poetry is rich and diverse, reflecting the country's history and values. Walt Whitman, Robert Frost, Emily Dickinson, and Langston Hughes are must-read poets who have left an everlasting impact on literature and society. Their words continue to inspire, offering wisdom and comfort in every line. By reading their works, we not only connect with the past, but also gain insight into ourselves and the world around us.